The day my trading changed was the day I stopped trying to predict the market and started reacting to it instead. For years I thought good trading meant knowing what would happen next. Guessing the top. Calling the bottom. Being the smart one who saw it coming. And that need to predict quietly wrecked me. So in this video I want to show you why prediction is a trap, and what it looks like to trade by reacting instead. It is a smaller shift than it sounds, and it changes everything. Let us start with why we all fall into it. Predicting feels powerful. When you call a move and it happens, you feel like a genius, like you cracked the code. That hit of being right is addictive. So we chase it. We stare at charts trying to see the future, we build stories about where price must go, and we fall in love with those stories. But here is the quiet problem. The moment you predict, you stop watching what the market is actually doing, and you start defending what you said it would do. Your ego is now in the trade, and the ego is a terrible trader. And here is the truth nobody selling forecasts wants to admit. Nobody knows what the next candle will do. Not the gurus, not the banks, not the person with the fanciest chart on the internet. The market is uncertain by its very nature, and uncertainty cannot be predicted, only prepared for. When you accept that you genuinely cannot know the future, something freeing happens. You stop needing to be a fortune teller. You realize your job was never to predict the market. Your job is simply to respond well to whatever it gives you. Let me show you what predicting really costs. When you predict a direction and the market goes the other way, a normal trader would just exit. But a predictor cannot, because exiting means admitting he was wrong. So he holds the loser. He moves his stop. He adds to it to prove the market will come around. The need to be right turns a small, manageable loss into a disaster. Almost every account-destroying trade you will ever hear about started as someone defending a prediction instead of reacting to reality. It is not the wrong call that ruins you. It is refusing to let go of it. So here is the shift. Stop predicting, and start reacting. A predictor says, I think price will go up, so I am buying. A reactor says, I will buy only when price actually does this specific thing, and I will exit when it does that. See the difference? The reactor is not guessing the future. He is waiting for the market to show its hand, and then responding with a plan he made in advance. He does not need to be right about tomorrow. He only needs to respond well today. That is a game you can actually win. So what does reacting actually look like in practice? First, you wait for confirmation instead of anticipation. Anticipation is entering because you feel a move is coming. Confirmation is entering because the move has already started to prove itself. Yes, you give up the very bottom and the very top. But you also stop catching falling knives based on a hopeful guess. You trade what is happening, not what you wish would happen. Slightly late and correct beats early and wrong every single time. Second, you plan your response before you ever enter. A reactor decides, in advance, if price does this, I get in. If it does that, I get out. Both answers are written before a single dollar is at risk, while your mind is still calm and clear. Then, when the market moves, you are not reacting emotionally, you are executing a decision you already made. This is the difference between being tossed around by every candle and standing steady with a plan. You cannot control the market, but you can decide your response to it ahead of time. And third, you let the market prove you wrong quickly and cheaply. A predictor clings to his idea until it costs him everything. A reactor gives the market a clear line and says, if price crosses this, I was wrong, and that is fine. Being wrong is not a failure. It is information. When you react instead of predict, a wrong trade is just a small, quick no from the market, and you move on. You are not protecting your ego anymore. You are protecting your account. That is what it means to trade like a professional. And I promise you, there is a deep freedom on the other side of this. When you stop trying to predict, the pressure lifts. You no longer have to be smarter than the market. You do not have to see the future or win an argument with price. You just have to watch, wait, and respond with your plan. Trading stops feeling like a fight you are trying to win and starts feeling like a craft you are quietly practicing. Calm replaces certainty. And calm, it turns out, is far more useful than being right. If you have been exhausting yourself trying to predict every move, please hear this. You are not a bad trader, you were just playing an impossible game. And you are not alone in it. Almost everyone starts by trying to forecast, because that is what looks smart from the outside. That is exactly why the quiet community around this channel exists. No hype, no signals to buy, no predictions to sell you. Just traders learning to react with discipline instead of guessing. The free link is in the description if you want people who trade this way. So before you go, try this on your very next trade. Do not ask, where do I think this is going? Ask instead, what will I do if it goes up, and what will I do if it goes down? Write both answers down before you enter. That one change turns you from a predictor into a reactor. And tell me below, have you been trading to be right, or trading to respond? Be honest, we have all tried to be the fortune teller. Subscribe if you want tomorrow's lesson, and remember, you do not need to predict the market. You just need to answer it. See you in the next one.